either going to do it or I was going to shut up about it. So I got my license. 6 of those came from the team lead, and 31 of those deals came from Sphere, my social media. We're very focused. Make some of my dreams, either they were going to turn into goals or I was going to forget about them. You don't waller on anything. Just adjust and move forward. I'm either going to build a real estate business or I'm not, but went all in.
All right, Shannon, I'm so excited to have you here. You are just killing it. You're crushing it right now in real estate. And I'd love to have you share your story. So who are you? Where are you from? How long you been in the business? All that good stuff.
Okay, so I'm Shannan Alvis. I am from Southern Oregon. I live in Klamath Falls, Oregon, but I have been in Southern Oregon my whole entire life. I'm married, 5 kids and 12 grandkids. Let's
5
see.
kids and 12 grandkids. That's a lot.
Yeah.
Plus, don't forget the other thing about you.
My horses?
Yeah. You're like this badass barrel racer.
Yes, I was a almost 30-year professional horse trainer. That career allowed me to raise all my kids and not miss anything. I could work my work around what my kids were doing. So that was really good. I always wanted to get my real estate license from as long as my oldest is like, I didn't know you ever didn't want to get it. So I turned 50 and I decided that I was either going to do it or I was going to shut up about it. And so I got my license and I am in my 4th year of real estate. So I got my license January of 2022.
Okay. And 4th year of real estate.
Yep. 4th year of real estate.
So tell me about like getting into real estate. Did you join a team first? Did you go solo?
No, I joined my girlfriend that I barrel race with. She has a small boutique brokerage here in town, and I joined hers. And because she was a great support of me getting my license, and she was a really good push. And so I stayed there for a little over a year. And then I just decided that I wanted to open some more doors. I joined EXP as a solo agent and used my girlfriend's branding. She's out of California. And so then I talked to a team and they asked me to join to be their agent over in this town. They didn't have any agents in Klamath Falls, just in the Rogue Valley. For me, I wanted to go back to being a solo agent. So then in, I think it was February this year, I left the team and came back as just a solo agent for EXP.
So tell me about your progression in like your transactions, right? So when you were solo at your first brokerage, do you remember what your results were? And then how did that change when you went to a team? And then how did that shift when you decided to go solo again?
So I guess my first year in real estate, I did 4 deals. I was super happy learning everything. I was still training horses at the time. So I was training horses and doing real estate. The next year, I guess that was 2023, I just started digging into more what I wanted to learn. And that's when I left the boutique brokerage and came to EXP, and I was learning more how to market myself, how to educate my clients, finding out who I was. And then in, I think it was April or May of 2023, I sent home all my client horses and said, I'm either going to build a real estate business or I'm not. But I went all in. All in. I was like, oh. So 2022, I did 4 deals. 2023, I did 9 deals. And in 2024, I did 37 deals. 6 of those came from the team lead, and 31 of those deals came from my sphere, my social media. You know, they came from what I was doing to promote myself as a realtor.
So then this year, so that was like basically that was 2024 essentially, right? A little bit of 23, but really 24. Okay, so then this year in 2025, you basically went solo in February. So pretty much the whole year. Like,
Correct.
let's just give it the whole year.
Yes.
And you currently have 12 closings.
Yes.
And I believe 17 that are like active and you're working with, like active clients.
Yes, between
either on the market
listings,
or shopping. Or...
Yes, listings, and then I have buyers that I'm working. Some buyers are like ready right now. Like I just put an offer in on, I think it was Monday or Tuesday, and we're just waiting for that. So between sellers coming that are like, we're making a plan, and then buyers are kind of making plans. Yes, I usually, on an average, I have about 20 active clients that I am dealing with almost on a weekly basis, you know, and some are out farther, but they're like, hey, what color should I paint this? Or, hey, I need some idea. And I'll swing by and go, okay, hey, we need to do this to the outside. We need to do this to the inside. And they're like, okay, perfect. I just needed some more. And sometimes it's literally like, can you swing by the house? Yep. Sure.
So you'll probably make Icon this year, hopefully. I mean, because so if you have 12 closings and you have 17 that are active, let's pretend they're all going to close, because you have some that are actually listed right now and some people that are actually in contract and pending. There's some that aren't, but if assuming that all 17 of them close, you'll be at 39, which is more than you did as a team.
Yes, correct.
So you should definitely Icon.
Yes.
Which would be great.
Yes, because it's because my start is the beginning of March. And so that gives
And we're in September, so we're like 6 months in.
Mm-hmm.
So you have plenty of time.
Yes. Yes.
Love that. Cool. Yeah, look at that. You are a rock star. What I want to know, like, from you, we started working together in January-ish. I think it was January.
Yeah, January. We did some of the other, I did the other like Friday calls.
Yeah, and you did my social media workshop.
Mm-hmm.
You did that, and then you decided to go from there to my Friday calls.
Yes.
To joining my not my tiny, but my tight knit community.
Yes.
That
very tight knit.
I think is I personally think it's a great community because there's just a few of us. Yeah.
And the coaching. So I had told myself that, because on the Friday calls, I had told myself that if I hit my financial goal of what I wanted to put in my bank account for 2024, if I reached that goal, I got to do your coaching. That was my reward to myself. Yes. Yeah. So that is what, yes.
I remember that because we talked about it. I think I did a webinar about a year ago, and we talked after that, but you're like, it's just not the right time. And so you just like put some things in place and made it happen. Yeah. So I'd love to know from you, first of all, I mean, I think you're an awesome, obviously, member of the community, which is why we have you here on this call. And your success is really inspiring to me. One of the things I was saying on one of my calls yesterday was like, as a coach, I mean, I'm still obviously an active realtor. I practice selling houses, of course. I think it's really important, but I don't sell as many houses as I used to. And so what I've done now, instead of shifting that energy from me selling a lot of houses, is I've shifted into teaching or helping other agents have a better business than I've ever had, or I have, right? And I think, like, as far as being a coach, that means I don't have kids. So I feel like I can relate it to kind of having kids, where like you have kids and the thing that you want to do is you want to have them, you want to train them, you want to teach them and raise them to be better than you, right? To reach further things than you ever reached. And it's kind of the same thing as being a coach. It's like, of course you're not children, of course, but it's like, I get to see.
That some days?
Okay, fair. Okay, Shannon, you're right. Sometimes we need to have our child moments. It's fine. But when I get, like, it's really cool because I get to see, people like you specifically who came in from a team and you had this rock solid business at a team, right? You were number 1 or 2 on your team. You had this rock solid business, and you had said to me, I don't want to give all my money away to the team. Yeah. Like, I want to make more money.
I loved my team. Like, I loved, but whether it's selfish or it's whatever, I did not want to give my money away, and I had done it before, and I just figured, yes, did they help me build my business? Yes. Did my business grow because of them? No. I sat down and figured out that my business grew because of my circle of people that I have found online through coaching, that have turned into friends, that have turned into kind of call you and just kind of vent from it. That is where, and when I realized that, I went, okay, this is me. And I want my business to be me.
Yeah. I would love to know, like, from you, like, let's say someone watches this, there's going to be some people that watch this, and they might be considering leaving a team, or they might be considering joining a team, like, other way. Like, what advice would you give them? Like, if someone was considering leaving a team, what would you ask them to consider before they do? Because I know for you, it was a harder decision for you to make. You really had to do some decision making practices, and
that was only because I respected the people on my team.
Right.
And it just had to come down to my bank account is period what it had to come down to. And so
if you had an agent that was like thinking they're in the same spot that you were, what, like, would you ask them to consider before they decided to leave the team?
So I did, because there was a couple of us and we would talk a lot. And then she did end up leaving the team also. She was number 1, I was number 2. I guess And then there was another person that left and then came back to the team. And I wanted to know why he came back. And he's like, it just works for me. Like, I utilize things more. And I mean, no disrespect by this at all. Some people really like to ride on the coattails and jump on that train and are like, this works perfect for me. Like, they'll buy my marketing, they'll pay for this, they'll pay for that. I'm not that way. I like to be the bulldozer and like you know.
We attract the like kind. So yeah, I get it.
You know, and the funny thing is everybody's like, they meet me in person, they're like, I thought you were taller. I thought you were bigger.
Yeah, because you told me you're 5 feet tall.
I'm 5'1". I'm 5'1". I weigh 111. They're like, I thought you were taller. I thought you were bigger. I'm like, no, just, you know, but so I think that there is something in real estate for everyone. So if you're on a team and you're thinking about leaving the team, what are the things that you have to replace if you leave the team? Meaning, you know, your CRM, what software things do they use that you really like? I figured out what I really liked that the team had and what it was going to cost me to do that, which I'm like, okay, so I figured out what it was going to cost me to use everything that they used, you know, and plus, you know, and then also I kept my same transaction coordinator. And so I think that if you're leaving the team, what are the things that you still want to use if you leave? And what are you going to gain by leaving? And do you want somebody holding your hand, or are you going to reach out? I mean, when I found all of you guys, I just started literally, I messaged you on Facebook. I mean, I saw your stuff. I saw some some agent power huddle. I watched some of your stuff there when I was driving, and I literally I'm not afraid to message. I thought, well, if I message her and she doesn't message me back, okay, well, I'll go to someplace else. But you did. I think if you want to be a solo agent, you have to just be independent and not want to. You just got to take it and go with it and not be afraid.
Yeah, I agree. Like and true to your point. Yeah, I always say there's 1,000,001 ways to do real estate. You can do it anyway. So if someone wants to be on a team, cool, be on a team. There's a lot of benefits that come from a team. There's a lot of benefits that don't come from a team. So, and it's like the financial indicators to sometimes for people makes more sense to be on a team than it does for other people. So like, that's why that's a cool thing about this industry. That's the best thing about this industry, I think, is that
you can do it however.
Yeah, as long as, if you want to be an entrepreneur and you want to run your own business, you can. But if you also want to be more of, I'm not trying to make the word employee sound negative, but, you know, it's kind of like that. Like, you can think of it as being an employee on a team or being an entrepreneur and running your own. Either way. None of them are wrong, and none of them
and they never tried to, like, the first thing I did when I met them, you know, I said, okay, I'm interested in joining the team, but you can't put me in a box. You can't tell me what to do. And if you stand in front of me, I will run you over.
I'm a barrel racer, damn it.
And he's like, okay, got it. And like, he never, like, he would roll his eyes and go, okay, Shan, go for it. Cause you know, I was a little different than most, but you know, we had all kinds of personalities and, but yeah.
So tell me, like, you know, as you've started to take on this new wave of being a solo agent, it's very different than the first time around.
Yes.
Right? Because you sold 4 as a solo agent before.
Yes.
And now you've tripled that as a solo agent. So I'd love to know from you, what are some of the biggest things that you have, like I said, we've worked together since February, right? So there's obviously a lot of value that you get from coaching. So tell me, like, what are some of the biggest things you've taken away that you've implemented that you have really kind of like helped you essentially triple that profit, or that what you did as a solo agent the first time?
Being picky, maybe not picky, but finding my ideal clients.
Selective.
Just because it comes in, and I did learn this from a team, you know, they get a lot of I'm now more selective on the clients, you know, that I want to take. If someone is just really not, you know, realistic, then I don't want to put out money for my photographer and all my time if literally they're just throwing stuff to throw it at the wall to see what's going to stick. And they don't really want to sell. They want to sell, but they have it just unrealistic. And I've just figured out that, great people and everything, but sometimes, it's better to give them to somebody else.
Right. And I think
And then I
that's
can spend more time with my people that fit me, that I fit with, that just so in horse training, I learned that when you first started horse training, I wrote everything anybody sent to me. Well, same thing in real estate. I would list anything. Now my buyers, I put them through kind of a system. They got to be pre-approved. Then we go shopping. My sellers, we go through, this is what we need to do. This is how we need to do it. And if you really want to sell, this is where we need to be priced. If you want to be a little over, okay, but we're going to have to. So I think my communication and my education on my clients is way different. My confidence is way different.
I would agree. I think that's one thing that I have seen in you, that part of that growth in you is how to have better conversations. I think you've always been pretty confident in what you offer and your ability. I don't think your confidence was in that. Your lack of confidence was in that. Right. I think your biggest growth from what I've seen has definitely been in how to say no in a way that feels really good for you. But also like how to earn your worth, your worth. I think that's, and really like be a professional for your clients.
And I think, and maybe this doesn't have to do, but everybody talks about their why we do things that we love. And just, maybe it's just a little bit about me, but my why was, when I turned 50 and I decided, I'm going to be 55 in a couple months. And so when I decided that I was going to make some of my dreams, either they were going to turn into goals or I was going to forget about them. And so each year on my birthday, I write a list. The thing that pushes me is I have 4 daughter-in-laws and 1 daughter, and I have 7 granddaughters. Not to say anything bad about all the men in my family, because we got a pile of them. No, I have 5 granddaughters. Sorry, the rest are grandsons. And so part of me is to show my daughter-in-laws and my granddaughters that it doesn't matter how old you are. And it doesn't matter how many people say you can't do it. If you want something, go and do it. And it also shows all my husband is my biggest supporter. My boys are all great supporters, and all my grandsons. This is how you have a good team for a marriage. And this is how, if your wife wants to go do this, or your daughter wants to go do this, or, it's just back them. So I think that's something that we show a lot of in our family. My husband may not always understand everything that I want to do, but he's got my back all the way. So that kind of it plays hand in hand. To me, I needed to be a role model, or I wanted to be a role model, that just because you're in your 50s doesn't mean you can't switch careers and do something else and be super successful at it. Because I closed more deals last year at this time, but I've made the same amount of money because I'm not sharing my money.
That's really important. You're not sharing money, but also you have started, because, we work a lot on like packaging up your offer, right? We spend a lot doing that. So have you seen that has helped you gain a little bit more confidence as well?
Yes, because I feel like I can go to my clients and tell them, this is what I do for you.
Right.
This is what I have to offer you. This is what I do for you. I have got great feedback, from my clients. Some clients are like, they're just honest. They're like, I don't want to see all this stuff. Just, what are you going to charge me to do this? So, but some people want choices. And some people are like, can you just do this? And I do live in a very rural community. We don't have stagers. And so, if I go, into the other towns that are, the cities that are 2 hours away, yes, there's stagers and stuff, but we don't locally have stagers. So we have to kind of do it ourselves, and help take all this stuff off. Just leave this. Yeah.
Right. I love that. And I also think that your why has been a thing for you. We recently talked about your freedom list too. Have you started that?
I have started my freedom list. And the funny thing is, I was busy. My mind sounds like you are in a really busy restaurant.
Okay.
With
I get it. That's all you gotta say.
Many people talking that you can't hear yourself. And the restaurant is like in the middle of a heavy metal rock concert. So seriously.
Very good visual right there. That's excellent storytelling, Shannan.
Yeah, that is what my mind sounds like all the time. So I started doing that, and I was, in my real estate, I and it goes over to my barrel racing. And so I was like, I was going through the moves, but I wasn't detailed. I wasn't focused. And my competition was showing it. And so that told me, like, you've got to pull your head out of your butt, because your horses, like, you're embarrassing your horses. You're going out there and like, they should be like right here and they're right here. And so I did. I like really started focusing and going, what does this horse need? What does this horse need? And I had a huge breakthrough last weekend with my mare, because I finally listened and went, aha. And she goes, oh, it's about time. Thank you. And so same thing with my big stud horse that I run. Sometimes you just have to, things quieter. And that freedom list that I started writing, I wanted the freedom. When I swung a leg over one of my horses, that's all I was focused on, was that horse.
Yeah, I love that. I love it. And that's the power of a freedom list, is like, this moment is what makes me feel free.
Yes.
Just right.
Yes.
And that gave me goosebumps.
I know. And
it's like, oh, that's so exciting.
Yeah, it is. And it's like very quiet. And also that freedom gave me, we just spent the day with family, and I just really did. Yes, I talked to a couple clients, but just on it, they were just buyers that I was dealing with. It's so just relaxing, just to have everything kind of in its own little spot and go, okay, I'll go there tomorrow, and then go, okay, I didn't get to this, but it's right there. I've got it. And I don't feel like I am on a hamster wheel.
So what do you think is like, because I would say I also see that in you, like in just the way you talk and kind of present yourself more now, obviously, than we first started working together. What do you think is the biggest thing that's kind of helped you get there? Or like, you know what I mean? Like, what do you think helps you get to this spot?
So the biggest thing is, okay, so I made this goal. It was a huge goal in 2024. Huge. Like, I did not think I could reach it, and I hit it. So I think the scariness of trying to hit it again, because like when you're trying to hit a goal, everything is awesome, because you're like, I'm this much closer to that goal. I'm this much closer. And when you actually hit it, you're like, oh crap, now what? How do I redo it? Because like I was just going with the flow, and we hit the goal. So I got stuck, and I kind of hit a little bit of a wonky spot mentally, and then got myself out of it and went, you just have to keep going. If I don't hit the goal that I did last year, okay, but I'm getting towards it. And so, it's like you win one barrel race, well, then you want to win them all, but you're not going to win them all. You're going to be second. You're going to be 10th. You're going to be fifth. So I had to put that into perspective into real estate, that taking care of my clients and I just think I had to hit that and then kind of pull myself up by the bootstraps and go, okay, focus on, and calm down, because I got, you're in a funk. So you get a little depressed about it. And then you're like, okay, calm down, focus. What do you need to do? And then just keep going forward. It's what's kind of got me, I think, calmed a little bit, that it's okay to not make it, because if I look back, look how far I've come.
Right. Do you think having a community of support has been helpful for that too?
100%. 100. And I mean, like, yeah, 1,000%. Because even when I was on the team, when I had bobbles, I didn't go to my team for support. I came to my coaching groups, my little Facebook groups. Those are the people that I went to then and still go to. And that's what made the decision that I didn't build my business because of the team. I went to these people when I was having problems. These are the people that helped me through even when I was on the team. I found my tribe.
How do you think that the community we're in together, how do you think that's helped you?
We're very focused. And if one person, like, I need to go back and do a couple things, and I'm like, okay, I just need to time block next week so that I can go into office hours and have Tyler help me on a couple things. Because I won't know kind of how to start something. And then, you get in here and you're like, how do I even start this? And then all of a sudden, all the pieces are glued together and you're like, oh, okay, that makes sense. And it's funny because I now will get on the computer to do something and I'll be like halfway done with it. And I'm like, well, that was easy. 6 months ago, I could not do that. Like, I remember struggling 6 months ago to do something similar, like days on the computer and frustration, everything. And now it's like second nature now.
So you think like having office hours has been really helpful for you, having like, cause the calls that we're on Tuesday and Thursday, those are really small calls. It's just a close knit group of us that are there.
And I love that.
Why do you love that? What's great about that for you?
Because it is small, because there's a lot of one-on-one. And if you get in the call and then all of a sudden say, Kelly has an idea on something, I can message Kelly and say, hey, da 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 da, or Brooks, or, Carol. I mean, I text Carol the other day just to talk to Carol.
I love Carol. She's great to talk to. They're all great. All of you are great to talk to. So
everybody is. And so, but it's like, hey, how are you doing on this? Or how are you doing on that? Or not that I've done it a ton, but it's a thing there. And then we can get in there, and if we're having a hard time, we can speak it in there, and then we've got backup. You're having a crappy day, we've got backup. Like, what do you need help with? I just need to vent. Okay.
Right. Right. And everyone always comes with good. I like that everyone always has like good solutions.
Yes.
Right. Everybody's got these like answers for you. Like if you have an issue, if I don't have an answer, which sometimes I don't have an answer, and I love, sometimes I'm not the smartest person right now. Like let's let someone else be that. And that, that's really rewarding for me. And I'm mostly for anyone who's a high achiever, it's always nice to not be the one with the answers all the time.
All the time. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so. And I'm having fun like with what I learn, and then I talk to other agents, even just locally and stuff. And I'm like, well, have you thought about this? And they're like, no, I've never done anything like that. I'm like, oh well.
Well.
They're like, where'd you get that idea? My coaching group. And they're like, oh, and I'm like, well, would you like to come? But and they're like, oh, I don't know if my principal broker would like that. And I'm like, oh,
okay. You're a choice. You're a prerogative, right?
That's right.
Yep. Love that. Love that. So tell people, like, you're in Klamath Falls, Oregon. What's your niche? What's your special? We don't have a lot of time left, so I want to give you the platform to promote yourself.
So my specialty is helping people open the next door. So I am not niched down to just horse property or ranches or land. Literally is someone that wants to open up a door. And in my life, that's how I think of it, is you want to open up a door, and maybe it's an uncomfortable door. It's a comfortable, that's fine. You want to open it up. And those are the people I like. First time home buyers, downsizers, families that need more room. You're going from, I just helped a family that, I helped them sell their house in a little subdivision and buy a house with property because they wanted horses and they wanted room for their kids to play outside. And so they've got 5 acres. And then I've got others that are retiring and they want to downsize. One of my clients moved up here from New Mexico. And so those are the people that those are my people that I just love.
Your niche is the psychographic of a person.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yep, helping them figure out what they want to change and help them get to there.
Yep. And I think that's obviously the root of what we talk about, right? The ideal client isn't necessarily about a transaction. It's not about first time home buyer or downsizer. Cause the more, yes, there's value in those, but people make moves based off of emotion.
Yes. And so it's just when they're like, okay, this is my next thing. Okay, let's go for it. How do we get to what you want?
Love that. Awesome. Well, Shannan, I just, again, wanted to say congratulations to all of your business. I mean, in a year of, this is the worst market that we've seen. I shouldn't say the worst, but the most slow and stagnant market we've seen in at least the last 20 years.
It's crazy.
In 2023 or 2024, 74% sold 0. You sold 37. Yeah. And now you're on track to even go higher than that this year.
And my price point's higher. So I'm liking that. My price point is higher.
Yeah.
So, we don't have a high local price point, but my price point is higher.
Mm-hmm. Right. So you're making more money for multiple reasons, right? You're not giving money to a team. You're charging what you're worth, and your price point is elevated. So there's and you're selling more houses. So you're making money 4 different ways. So, I just wanted to say congrats, because that's it's not easy to be a real estate agent right now. And you're basically crushing that. You're busting that myth. You're like, no, that's not true, because you're making it easy for you. So you make it look easy. So that's inspiring to me, and I'm sure it's inspiring to a lot of other people.
I absolutely love what I do. Absolutely love it.
We can tell. It's very apparent. So I love that. Is there anything else that you want to kind of say before we any like final notes you want to leave for the audience, whether it be for you, whether it be about joining a team, coaching, selling houses, whatever?
I think, there's just, I always say, I have unbreakable determination. I do, kind of say sometimes I put the blinders on to get, and you just, in any market, but especially in this, you have to have your buyers and your sellers educated and talk to them so that they know all the ways it could go. So I want my people to understand it could go this, 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 and this. If something goes sideways, I want them to go, okay, you told me that might happen. And then we just adjust and rego. You don't waller on anything, just adjust and move forward.
I love that. And that's the difference between someone who dabbles in real estate and someone who's a professional. And you are definitely on your way to probably leading the charts for the whole company. I think that that's probably next in store for you. And I can't wait to see it. That's awesome.
Thanks.
Awesome. Okay, everyone, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you on the next episode.